Howdy, my name is James Mayville, and I have the privilege of serving the institution as inaugural president of the Student Government Association. And I wanted to just share about how excited I am for what is ahead for you in your time at the college. I'm excited for what the Lord is going to do in and through you and through your time here at the institution and amidst your studies. It's going to be amazing to see. Well, I just wanted to share a little bit about student government with you, about how you can be involved, how you can be of help to student government, and of how student government can be of help to you. But before that, I wanted to share a little bit about the context of our founding. My freshman year of college at Criswell, I was approached by the then Student Services Director and the Program Director of the PPE degree program about what it would look like for Criswell College to have a student government. And so I immediately got to work. At the time, I had friends over at TCU and at UT and at Angelo State University, at different places across Texas. And so I started asking them questions, asking them what their student government looks like, what their structure looks like, what they operate off of, how they operate, what sort of what branches of government do they have, how involved their faculty, and what dependents do they have, and all the different questions. So worked on that for about 6 months, and I was. When I finally got the call that we had to go ahead, it was late July, early August. I was down in Austin doing an internship, and we'd gotten student government approved, and we were ready to hit the ground running in the fall of 2019. And so what we came to is what we have now. But what we will have and what will be of longevity depends on my commitment, the commitment of the current student government members, and honestly, it depends on your involvement. And how much you were involved in our day-to-day operations and our big picture ideas and just student government in general. But what we came to is what we have now. And what we have now is a 3-branch system of government. We have the legislative, the executive, and the judicial branch. And the way that we all function is based on ensuring checks and balances within the student government with an overall goal of student advocacy. When we met with Dr. Creamer and when we got the go-ahead, it was made clear that our purpose would be to identify the needs of students and advocate for those needs. And so that looks very different in its various capacities because the needs of students are very different. Each of us has a different perspective, has different issues that we face, has different challenges, different needs, and so all of the advocacy looks different. But that's our overarching goal. The legislative branch is responsible for the legislative priorities and for writing bills and passing bills and meeting those needs on a legislative basis. From that point, the legislation comes to my desk as the president. And I have the power to either veto or to sign the bill. And I will say I'm very proud that I have not had to use the power of the veto, not once, throughout my entire administration so far. And so very proud of that. I think it shows our ability to work together. But then from my desk, it goes on to the Judicial Branch. And the Judicial Branch, which is comprised of 3 students that are appointed by me and approved by the House, and then the Student Services Director and a faculty liaison. And that makes up our Supreme Court. And they just make sure that what bills and what legislation mission and vision and is constitutionally fit for us to be passing in terms of the student government constitution. And so that's kind of how we work on a legislative basis. But the day-to-day operations come from the executive branch and come from my team that makes up my cabinet, various positions. But we take care of the day-to-day operations of the government. So fundraising, maintaining our finances, going to conferences, learning more about student government, programming, the bill implementation is all mostly charged to the executive branch. So that's an overview of how we function. But I want to talk about how you can be involved. And I think step 1 of your involvement is talking to your reps, talking to the president, talking to the vice president, letting government members made aware of your needs. As I said earlier, the needs for all of us are different. And so just talking with your reps, talking with SGA members. Second is becoming a rep or an SGA member yourself. And so every fall we hold elections, and so that's your time to be elected to an office or to be appointed to a cabinet position. But also throughout the year we have various task force and partnerships and initiatives that you can be a part of. Just about a few weeks ago we launched the Run a Man Task Force that is responsible for planning the college's 5K. So there are various opportunities for you to get involved and to be a part of student government, but I believe that step 1 is making us aware of your needs, talking with your reps, talking with SGA members. And I will say one thing before I finish, and that it's a great time to be involved with student government at Criswell College. We are at the birth of a new era for our institution. For the first time in the college's history, we will have a dormitory in the fall of 2020. For the first time in the college's history, campus life and the student experience will be 24/7 around the clock throughout the semester. And with that comes a host of all different types of needs, of all different means of advocacy that we are in charge of. And so it's an exciting time to be involved in student government and to be involved in general with Criswell College. We have various partnerships throughout the institution, whether that's the Vice President for Advancement, whether that's the Vice President of Academic Affairs, the admissions team helping with Preview Day and the different things, helping with student services. We have many partnerships throughout the institution, and so we like to think big on our small campus, and we hope that you'll be a part of that thought. We hope that you'll be a part of our efforts to advocate for students. Again, just excited for what it means for you and for what the Lord is going to do in and through you at your time at the institution, and excited for how you can be of help to student government and how we can be of help to you.